Welcome back and thank you for joining us again at the Pen and Inkwell. So I'm going to be going back to my roots a little bit really. I think this all started when I started looking at Lamy pens. I've looked at quite a few Lamy pens, I've looked at Safaris, I've looked at the All Stars and I've looked at the nibs in a fair bit of detail. But this time again we've had another request of a particular pen to look at, and the team over at Cultpens have been very kind enough to send this pen over to us for us to look at. So we're going to be sharing this pen on the United Inkdom site on our meta review, so that you get a well-rounded perspective of this pen from 3 different people and what their thoughts are. So please go and check that website out, the unitedinkdom.uk. But what pen I'm actually talking about this time is, it's not a Safari, it's not an All-Star this time. This is the Lamy Accent. I haven't looked at it before, I haven't looked at this pen before, I haven't considered one before, but this one is got a wood barrel piece sort of inserted into it. I'll show you now what I mean. This is the Lamy Accent, as you see it's got this wood barrel inserted into it. Uses the same nibs as the Safari and the All Stars, but we'll have in the studios as well, all use the same nibs, interchangeable nibs. We'll have a look at that in more detail. But again, what we're going to be looking at shortly now is the Lamy Accent, and please come and join me in a second. Thank you. So welcome back. So we're going to have a look at the Lamy Accent now in some closer detail. So this is the Lamy Accent, and this is how it came to me in this cardboard sleeve, and we'll just take it out of there. And we've got this Lamy box that it came in. Quite a nice Lamy box, and we open that up, and the typical warranty card that comes with them, the silicone gel. It comes with a cartridge, spare cartridge. It also came with a converter which I've put in the pen, and then here is the pen in closer detail. So I'm going to move this box out of the way so we've got a bit more space. I'm going to go in a little closer. So this is the Lamy Accent. So as you can see, just give you some measurements to begin with. This is 143mm with the cap on, so it's quite a long pen. Let me just have a quick look. It's bigger than the Safaris and the All Stars, so it's quite a long pen, but it's narrower. Without the cap on, it is 124mm, and it is a very long pen if you post it. It is possible to post it, and there are little notches here that make this cap stay on really securely when you post it. I'll get on to posting it though in a moment. So let's have a look at this in closer detail. So it's a palladium finish with the cap and the body of the pen here, and it tapers down at the end here. I don't know if you can see these little black bits here, so these stand out a little proud, and these then keep the cap on when you post it. The cap fits really snugly on there when you post it. Then if you have a look through the middle here, this one is the wood finish, so it's got this barrel in the middle that's got this wood effect on it, almost like a sort of laminate flooring almost around the middle of it. And then the cap is quite a short cap with the Lamy written down here, and quite a springy clip on this one. So let's have a look and open it up. It's a screw top actually, which I was really surprised at, but it is a screw top, just the one screw on it. And let's see, as you can see, but this goes on there, and here how it clicks then when you post it. But can you see, for me, that's quite long posted. I find that really too long posted, and it's starting to get top heavy when you write, so I wouldn't bother posting that. It doesn't need to be posted. And just take this cap back off. It's a nice length without posting it. But as you can see, this barrel, this is all one length, and then it bulbs out a little bit, if you can see the shape there. So it's wider here than it is here. So it's narrower, and it gets wider in the middle, and it gets narrower at the end here. And then you've got this plastic grip section almost here with the little turns where the cap comes on before we get down to the Lamy nib. It unscrews a bit bizarrely actually, so it unscrews the one part there, and it comes out. Then you find the Lamy converter in there. This only takes the one type of Lamy converter. It has a slightly different top to it. It doesn't take the red one, just the black one, but it does come with the pen anyway. And the reason this comes apart like this is that these can be changed. You can get different ones of these. I've had a red one that you can put on there, black one I've seen, and you can have metal effect ones. So say they can be changed then. So I suppose you've got a pen that you can change the look of, which I quite like that idea, to be honest. You know, at least it's a little bit interchangeable depending on where you're going and what you're doing. So this pen was, somebody got in contact with a colleague of mine and asked for this pen to be reviewed with an MK nib on it. Wasn't familiar with an MK nib. It's an old Lamy nib that's got quite a rounded bulbed end to it. You can see this nib here. Get a little closer. And the end of it is pretty rounded on there. The standard medium nib is very similar to this now, but I'll do a side-by-side comparison with those in a moment anyway. So this is, as I say, this is the Accent. What's my opinion of it? Well, I love Lamy. I absolutely love Lamy. I love the Safaris. I know they can be a love-hate thing. They can be a bit of a Marmite thing, really. But I happen to be one of the ones that loves them. I love Marmite as well. But this, I just find it a little bizarre. This bit here is too narrow to be able to actually get your fingers around. I know I've got long nails and, you know, and it gets in the way, but this is too much to get, this is too narrow to get your fingers on, and this is almost sort of too wide. You have to have your fingers up here, which doesn't give you a lot of grip really, or control over the pen, because you're so far away from the tip of the nib, I find. And then, because then this is narrower, it doesn't quite sit where I want it to sit in my hand. It's almost sort of slightly up where I want it to sit down in that gap there, but it doesn't. I love the idea of being able to change it. I think if you weren't using it very often, I think it'd be fine. You know, I've written in my journal with it, and it was nice. Any prolonged writing I probably wouldn't do in it, to be honest. You know, I find it a little bit uncomfortable for that, but it is a quality made pen, and I absolutely love the fact that that cap screws on it. But it's just this bit here. I think if it narrowed straight the way, if it was the same width all the way down, I find it a little bit similar to the Faber-Castell pen that's got this small little section here. Again, a pen I find quite uncomfortable to write with for too long a period. But that's just my opinion. You know, I'm here to give you my opinion. It is a well-structured, a very good made pen, a well-made pen. And the nibs are, as always, brilliant. You know, it's great that you can change them and use so many different ones. I found an MK nib that I was given by a friend of mine, you know, from old stock, which was great to be able to try that out. So we're going to do a writing sample of this very quickly so you can have a look at how this nib writes, and then we'll get back to you in a moment. Thank you. So let's do a little writing sample with this. So this is the Lamy Accent wood finish, and this is with an MK nib. And this ink here, so this pen was very kindly sent to us by the guys at Cultpens. I've had very good service from Cultpens, you know, before, and used them, you know, a fair few times. They've been working with Diamine, doing a series of what they call deep dark inks. So if you can, so I just quickly bring these in. So there are 6 of them all together. The deep dark red, the deep dark purple, the deep dark orange, which I have in this now, the deep dark brown, the deep dark green, and the deep dark blue. So 6 inks that they've made themselves in the deep dark series. They're lovely inks. My favourite is the orange. I also like the deep dark purple as well. But the one fantastic thing, which I'll go on and show you, tell you right at the end of this, is that there is a giveaway along with this review, which will be linked onto our United Inkdom. It's part of our meta review site. So this the details of which it's going to be open for about a week, and the details are going to be on that site, that posting when that goes out tomorrow. So that'll be the 21st, I believe. You'll be able to see that. But I'll give you the details anyway for that, and I'll put the link to this, to the United Inkdom at the bottom of this video for you to have a look at that giveaway. And what the Cultpens are doing is giving away a complete, the 6 of these inks to one person, and they'll send one of each of these 6 inks to one lucky winner, which is brilliant. So this one here is Deep Dark Orange. It's like an orange, it's like a burnt orange, which is really lovely for autumn at the moment, and I thought it would go well with the wood finish on here. So as far as this nib is concerned, there's no flex in it. It is extremely smooth. It's buttery smooth. This ink gives some fantastic shading. I know we're not reviewing ink, but the ink does give some fantastic shading, which you might be able to see if I go a little closer in that there. Some brilliant shading with this ink. As always, I've reviewed these nibs. There's another review of mine that you'll find where I review all the Lamy nibs. They're dependable, and they always work. This works straight out of the box without any problem whatsoever. There hasn't been any skipping in that. I just want to give you just a very quick show of the difference between this MK nib and the medium nib. I'll just go back out a bit. So this one here now, so this is an all-star, and I've got this. This is just filled with a Lamy purple cartridge. This is a Lamy All-Star. Purple, and this is a medium nib. In my opinion, the MK nib is a little broader. You'll see, let's see if you can see it close enough. Rubbing the back of these two nibs up together, you'll see that this MK nib, I've gone a bit out of focus here. Will it focus? Maybe you can just about see it then. This one on the right, which is the MK nib that I've got in this accent, the tip of this, the ball on it, is much rounder, which makes it smoother than the medium nib. Not that the medium nib isn't smooth, but it does make it smoother, and it does give a slightly broader line, which you can just about see on here. It is ever so slight, very slight, but it is there, you know, it does exist. So I hope you found this useful. If you do have any questions, please do ask and let me know. Leave a comment below and ask me. If there's any pens you want me to have a look at, then please let me know. We've got a couple coming up shortly I'm going to be looking at. But these inks, I'll just bring these all into shot as well. Gosh, that's no good, is it? These inks, or a series of these inks, will be new ones that are going to be sent out by Cultpens. If you head over to our United Inkdom site, you'll find the details on there on how to get your hands on a full set of these from Cultpens. They're all lovely inks and definitely worth adding to your collection. I'm always a fan of Diamine inks actually, but please head over and find the details of those, and I think it's open until the 27th of this month. Again, if you have any questions, please subscribe to my channel as well, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!